is it. What you've been waiting for weeks now. First off, I'd like to thank you all for sticking with me through this massive undertaking. And I'd also like to thank the people who I featured in this countdown and everyone who auditioned. Counting down 40 Robot Masters is no small feat. But now, it's really on. This is the top 10. The best of the best designs, the best levels, the best weapons, and the best fights. These are the Robot Masters that truly embody what Mega Man is all about. And the Silver Celebration doesn't have to end here. If you have your own opinions, which I'm sure you do, feel free to comment or leave a video response. Doesn't that sound familiar? And if there's something else about Mega Man you want to count down this year, feel free to do that too. But for now, sit back, get comfy, and let's finish this fucker! What better way to start off the top 10 than with my favorite Robot Master in Mega Man 10, Ballade Man. For all the problems I hear people had with Mega Man 10, I really didn't find any of them with Blade Man. Before he was infected with Robo-Enza, he was a tour guide in an old castle owned by a sword fanatic, which is the reason for him having swords for arms and a head. Going through the castle, which is so not ripping off Nightman's stage, you'll encounter mobile axes, cannons, seesaw platforms, and a mini-boss that's a castle. Don't say it! Do not say it! And then there's the fight with him. This fight can get pretty hectic unless you know his pattern. He'll sometimes swipe at you on the ground, but his main attack happens when he jumps to the wall or ceiling and throws his triple blade. And when you factor in his design, oh boy, 6 blades! 6 freaking blades!
What? How many blades?
Nick, don't interrupt.
Okay.
Speaking of the triple blade, it's probably the most useful weapon in the game. Think of a spread shot with knives, and it changes direction whether you're in the air or on the ground. When it comes down to it, really, Blade Man is definitely a Robot Master to be feared and respected.
Here we have, in my opinion, the best Robot Master in Mega Man 3, Magma Man. Magma Man is a Robot Master in Mega Man 3 that, as you could guess by his name, has magnetic powers. So he's essentially the Phantom Virus's worst nightmare. Now you're probably wondering, what's so great about this guy? I mean, look at his design. It's so plain, boring. Well, yeah, he has a simple design, but it gets the job done, and I can look past it to see everything else that's great about it, including his stage. In his stage, there are flying magnets that will lift you up in the air, a battle with Pharaoh Man, these cannon things that will shoot homing missiles at you, and some block puzzles.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hey, could you let me finish what I was about to say?
No!
Excuse me for a second. Now, where was I? Oh right, the block puzzles. Like I was saying, there are block puzzles in the stage, but you don't have to worry because they are nowhere near as frustrating as the other block puzzles in the series. I'm looking at you, Heat Man! No! Fuck! After getting through his stage, you finally get to fight Magma Man. He'll jump around a bit and either shoot his magnet missiles at you, which will home in on you from the air, or use his magnetic powers to try and pull you towards him and deflect any attacks that you try to throw at him. This is a very fun fight, because of how frantic it is. You don't get much time to attack him, so you have to use what little time you have to deal as much damage as you can. Also, because his attacks are very fast, you have to constantly switch between dodging and attacking, making this a very difficult battle. After beating him, you get the Magnet Missile, which lets you shoot magnets that will home in on your enemies. This is a very useful weapon, because it lets you hit enemies outside of your reach. Overall, Magma Man has everything you'd want in a Robot Master. A good design, great stage, very fun fight, and incredibly useful weapon, because it lets you kill those goddamn birds!
How dare you say that to me? You know my mother was a bird.
Oh, sorry, Jacques, I forgot. Wait. What are you staring at me for? No, Jacques, what are you doing? Please, no, don't do this! I said I'm sorry, please, no! Ah!
Making the cut at number 8 is my favorite boss from the original, Cutman. This guy is significant for being the first Robot Master that most people faced. You see, stage select was kind of a new thing at the time, so I'm pretty sure that many people just pressed start on the first thing that was highlighted, which was Cutman. Dr. Light initially designed him as a logging robot, and the ceramic titanium shears on his head can cut down huge trees in one snip. As for his stage, you start by climbing up the side of a warehouse, taking on enemies like Bunby-Helis, Blasters, Kamadomas, Supercutters, and Suzies, after which you descend into the complex and deal with some Mambus and a Big Eye, after which you face Cutman himself. It's not a hard fight, but it's fun jumping over his blade and striking back. Yes, those blocks are for the super arm, but do you really need it? His rolling cutter is a great weapon as well. It's like a precursor to the Metal Blade, only not completely broken. And his personality and powered up is kind of like mine when I was a child. Kind-hearted yet naive, and opposed to fighting.
But you were so kind before, Mr. Gutsman. Don't worry, I'll get you out of here. You don't plan to chuck that bomb at me, do you, Mr. Bomb Man? Mr. Elect Man, listen to me.
Not only that, but he appears as a bonus battle in the Saturn version of Mega Man 8, and even in Mega Man X8 if you have data from Command Mission. In the end, Cutman is well deserving of his fame, and the number 8 spot.
Napalm Man is an interesting Robot Master. This Robot Master is filled with so many explosions, he can be Michael Bay's walking dynamite storage unit. He was created by Wily to protect a secret weapons factory, where he spends time collecting and searching weapons that are as strong or even stronger than his own. So yeah, he's a weapons enthusiast, which can be provided with further proof in its design. He has weapons all over his body with a jet turbine on his head and treadmills for feet. So he's a tank. That's purple. And has arms and legs. And anything else that tanks don't have. Hell, he even built his own weapons museum, which eventually got blown up. His stage in Mega Man 5 is interesting to say the least. It starts off in a jungle with tigers, then goes underground for what seems to be a military complex, then goes to an area with waterfalls going to platforms, then to a dense field, then underground again. For someone like Napalm Man, shouldn't all this healthy environment be, I don't know, blown up? Well, I have a theory. It's rumored that this stage is based off Vietnam. Considering the tiger robots in the jungle setting and the fact that napalm, which is a flammable liquid, was used in the Vietnam War, this is most likely intentional. As for the fight with him, though constantly attacking with head missiles and napalm bombs, his signature weapon, and jumping all over the place, is very easy. The weapon he gives you is the recently mentioned Napalm Bomb, which is pretty much a grenade. Oh well, at least you won't get turned on if he gets hit by it, Grenade Man! Ya silly little pervert, you! While very hostile, Napalm Man is an awesome robot master with many explosives and an interesting stage. Well, I'm off. Be sure to polish your robots and don't let Napalm Man be in the Michael Bay movie. It will suck horribly. See ya.
Hey Dio, are the flame shields ready?
そして時は動き出す。
Good, cause we're gonna need them. Oh, I can feel all you Metal Man fanboys out there fuming with rage because he's only at number 6. But before you come at me with your torches and pitchforks, let me state my case as to why Metal Man is a bit overrated despite being one of my favorites. First, the positive. This guy looks really intimidating. As Dr. Wily's first original Robot Master, Dr. Light described him as the dentist of the future. He's got an awesome stage as well. featuring conveyor belts, crushers, clowns on gears, and this hallway with screws, which is ideal for farming. The fight is actually great as well. The conveyor belt is in motion and can change direction at a moment's notice while Metal Man is throwing his blades at you, making for a good challenge. Now for the thing everyone knows him for, the Metal Blade. This thing fires in all directions, uses next to no ammo, and pwns just about everything. Which is actually the reason he missed out on the top 5. Allow me to sum it up as follows. Think of the Spark ability, Meta Knight, and the Gen 1 Psychic types. Those things are balanced compared to how utterly broken the Metal Blade is. This thing can take out so many enemies it isn't even funny, so why the fuck are the other weapons even there? Hell, 4 bosses can be taken down by these things, including Metal Man himself in the rematch, which is already nerfed by the fact that the conveyor belt was removed. Sorry, Metal Man, you may be my favorite Robot Master in Mega Man 2, but you just can't get any higher. Especially when you get overshadowed by your own weapon.
Oh, Mega Man 3, how I love you. The level design was great, the controls were spot on, and the soundtrack is amazing. And it also introduced one of the best Robot Masters in the series, freaking Shadow Man. I already talked about this guy in my personal Robot Masters list, but since I know some of you haven't seen that list yet, I am going to talk about him again, why not? Shadow Man was an unknown, deactivated robot that was discovered by Dr. Wily, who remodeled and reprogrammed it. Since his metal body does not match any material found on Earth, this makes Shadow Man the first Robot Master with an alien origin. That's pretty cool. And what's even cooler is his design. It pretty much speaks for itself. Just by looking at his face, you know he means business. His stage in Mega Man 3 is one of my favorites in the game. The placement of the obstacles in this level makes it feel like it was designed to be beaten with ninja reflexes. Speaking of needing good reflexes, the fight against Shadow Man himself tests those to the limit. In Mega Man 3, Shadow Man will jump, throw Shadow Blades at you, and slide to where you are. Dodging his attacks is very tricky to do, but it makes for a great challenge. In other games, Shadow Man would use ninjutsu tricks such as substitution, cloning, and even summon a giant frog. After you beat Shadow Man, you are rewarded with a Shadow Blade, which also happens to be my favorite weapon in the game. It can aim in 5 directions, it causes good damage, and it has a large amount of ammo. Some of you may think this is a downgrade from the Metal Blade, but I personally didn't like how broken it was. I preferred it this way. Shadow Man is my favorite Robot Master in Mega Man 3. His level was great, his design is kick-ass, his battle is very satisfying, and his weapon is very strong. And if that doesn't convince you, let me remind you that he's a freaking ninja! And ninjas are awesome.
Hey Chugga, have I given enough praise to Mega Man 9 yet?
No!
Okay then, here's one more for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Galaxy Man. I mean, what's not to love about this guy? He's designed after a UFO, and his highly advanced computer brain allows him to instantly calculate the trajectory of rockets. His stage, a laboratory built in space, is also my favorite stage of the game to play through. I mean, there's mini UFOs, Poochie Devils, teleporters that warp you all over the place, and these enemies that can drop down on you and drag you along. You can fake them out, but if you're caught, you'll have to time your jumps so you don't get gored on the spikes. Then there's Galaxy Man himself. While it is admittedly an easy fight, it's still a lot of fun. He has 2 basic patterns of attack. For one attack, he'll just charge at you, and for the other, he'll jump into the air and hover before firing a strange homing projectile. This projectile creates a black hole, and Galaxy Man will teleport under it as it sucks you toward him. The best thing about Galaxy Man, however, is the weapon he gives you. The Black Hole Bomb. This thing creates a vortex that sucks in enemies and projectiles and can be moved up and down prior to detonation. Now I'm sure some of you may be wondering how Mega Man isn't affected. I say, why bother asking? It's helping you, so take it and be grateful. When it comes down to it, there's just so much that's great about Galaxy Man that it's hard not to love him. That's why I always go after him first. Without a doubt, my favorite Robot Master in Mega Man 9. At number 3 is not only my favorite Robot Master from Mega Man 4, and in fact from the NES games as a whole, but also the most underrated in my opinion. That's right, it's Pharaoh Man, baby! To be honest, I'm surprised that this robot doesn't get more credit. Seriously, he's designed after an ancient Egyptian ruler and has over 1,000 Mamiro robots under his command. He was originally created to explore the depths of pyramids, and of course, his stage reflects his theme perfectly. It starts out with quicksand, flies, and robo-scorpions, and soon you descend into the tomb where you encounter batons, mummies that attack you with their freaking heads, and these strange robots which carry you over the spikes. Of course, you can also get the balloon adapter in this level by jumping over the first pit. This will come in handy quite a bit throughout the game. And the music fits this theme perfectly, especially the Complete Works version. Then there's Pharaoh Man himself. He can be one of the game's more challenging bosses. Sure, if you have the flash stopper, he's a piece of cake, but not with the Buster. He'll jump around the room throwing his fireballs at you, and when he comes to a stop, he'll start charging up a powerful wave attack. This fight can be hectic, but it's still great all the same. And the weapon you get is an awesome reward. The Pharaoh shot can be charged up to create a giant fireball which can do major damage. Of course, one reason that I love Pharaoh Man so much is because of my interest in ancient Egyptian culture. And yes, my interest in Yu-Gi-Oh! May have had something to do with it. In all seriousness though, Pharaoh Man definitely deserves a lot more praise than he gets, and anyone who says otherwise is getting a Pharaoh punch to the face! Oh yeah, I said it! A boss from the Game Boy beat out every single NES Robot Master. At number 2, we have the last and best of the Mega Man killers. From Mega Man 4 on Game Boy, it's Ballade. Or Ballade, or however you want to pronounce it. The point is, he's incredibly awesome. He looks like Quickman except with more powerful armor. You first fight him after beating the first 4 Robot Masters, taking on a satellite dish, and blasting through some missiles. He'll jump around the room, charge at you, and throw explosives. And once you beat the second wave, collect the Wily plates, and negotiate some magnets, you'll face him again, only this time, he's upped the ante. This time, he'll lay down an explosive when he starts his pattern, and both the explosives and the explosions are bigger. And like the other 2 Mega Man killers, he returns in Mega Man 10's Time Attack mode. His special stage features enemies popping out of pits, conveyor belts, and they even brought back the missiles. And the theme, Farewell to Ballade, is my favorite of the 3 remixes. As for his weapon, the Ballade Cracker is amazing. It's an efficient explosive that can be fired in multiple directions. It's like an explosive metal blade that isn't overpowered! Now that is awesome! So yeah, Ballade has all the ingredients that make a Robot Master great. But here's the kicker. The biggest reason that Ballade is this high has nothing to do with any of this. What puts Ballade at number 2 is his emotional impact. You ask what I'm talking about? Let me tell you. As Wily's greatest creation prior to Base, Ballade was extremely vain and arrogant, believing no one could contest him. But after losing twice to Mega Man, he realizes his own weakness. Then, in the ending of the game, as Mega Man escapes the exploding Wily station, his way is blocked by a seemingly impenetrable barrier. All seems lost when out of nowhere, Ballade appears, and makes the ultimate sacrifice to help Mega Man escape. Let me repeat that for you. A robot created to destroy Mega Man sacrificed his life to save him. To me, that is proof that even a character that is the creation of evil is never beyond redemption. I didn't think much of it back then, but looking at it now, I realize how important this was. Prior to the arrival of Zero in the X series, I had never encountered such a character in a Mega Man game. And that is saying something. The best characters are the ones you remember for the right reasons. And Ballade is one Robot Master I will never forget. However, the list isn't over just yet. Okay, it's almost time to reveal my favorite Robot Master of all time. But before that, since you've probably forgotten at least a few entries on this list, I'm gonna do the crazy and recap this monster. Number 50, Snake Man. Number 49, Turbo Man. Number 48, Grenade Man. Number 47, Crystal Man. Number 46, Anchor. Number 45, Yamato Man. Number 44, Skull Man. Number 43, Mega Water S. Number 42, Mercury. Number 41, Crash Man. Number 40, Gyro Man. Number 39, Ground Man. Number 38, Guts Man. Number 37, Hyperstorm H. Number 36, Gemini Man. Number 35, Centaur Man. Number 34, Saturn. Number 33, Pirate Man. Number 32, Nitro Man. Number 31, Punk. Number 30, Astro Man. Number 29, Hornet Man. Number 28, Quick Man. Number 27, Pluto. Number 26, Sheet Man. Number 25, Tomahawk Man. Number 24, Splash Woman. Number 23, Fireman. Number 22, Drill Man. Number 21, Shade Man. Number 20, Magic Man. Number 19, Elec Man. Number 18, Jewel Man. Number 17, Tengu Man. Number 16, Terra. Number 15, Gravity Man. Number 14, Slash Man. Number 13, Buster Rod G. Number 12, Nightman. Number 11, Tornado Man. Number 10, Blade Man. Number 9, Magnet Man. Number 8, Cut Man. Number 7, Napalm Man. Number 6, Metal Man. Number 5, Shadow Man. Number 4, Galaxy Man. Number 3, Pharaoh Man. And number 2, Ballade. Shadow Man had a great design. Galaxy Man had a great level. Pharaoh Man had a great fight. Ballade had emotional impact. For a Robot Master to be number 1 on this massive list, it needs to combine all 4 of these qualities. And I found one that does. A robot so powerful it was sealed away for countless years. With an arsenal so varied, the fight takes place over multiple phases. A robot so badass, he even upstages Wily himself.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Look, I'm trying to build some tension here, okay?
Get on with it.
Alright already, God!
My number 1 Robot Master of all time is... Sunstar. Okay, right now a lot of you may be thinking, what the hell? Well, that's good, because Sunstar is hands down my favorite Robot Master ever. In the 25 years that Mega Man's been around, I feel that no single robot has embodied what the series is about more than this Titan of Destruction from Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. Allow me to explain what I mean. First, let's look at his design. And man, oh man, does he look awesome. The various symbols on his body make him look like a sun deity. In fact, his Japanese name is Sun God. Think Pharaoh Man, but on weapons-grade steroids. That is so awesome! Then there's the lead-up to him. Once Terra is defeated, you learn that, huge plot twist and massive sarcasm quotes, Wily is once again behind everything. And you approach Wily's totally not a Death Star ripoff in a side-scrolling shooter stage that features asteroids, jetpacking heads, and giant lasers as you take out Wily's defenses R-Type style. Then there's the interior of the Wily Star. The obstacles and enemies here run the gamut, including falling platforms, spikes, Mets with cannons, robot birds, rising pistons, branching paths, and shafts with moving platforms and spikes. Not only that, but you get to face all 3 of the Mega Man killers again. Also Quint, but he sucks, so moving on. Eventually you face the Star Droids once again, minus Terra, after which Proto Man refills your weapons and life, and then it's time to face Wily. Again. First phase is a giant fist, shoot the eyes when it comes down. Second phase, same thing, except it has missiles and can pluck you from the ground. Next phase, you're dealing with missiles, gravity warpers, and bombs that you need to push into Wily's machine. Phase 4, you have to contend with shockwaves and a lowered ceiling covered with spikes that aren't insta-kill. Finally, when you've cornered Wily, he reveals his ultimate weapon, Sunstar, whom he orders to kill you. But then... Yeah, he just attacked Wily. Awesome. Except Sunstar still wants you dead. Okay, take it, Travis.
It's game time.
The fight begins, and it is one of the greatest battles in any Mega Man game, with some of the best music I've ever heard on Game Boy. There are 3 phases to this fight, and each one will keep you on your toes. During the first phase of the fight, he'll blast you with his giant ancient Egyptian laser beam of death and destruction balls, and fire shockwaves along the ground that shoot up when you jump over them with the space gravity of the chamber. Once a third of his health is gone, he'll destroy the floor beneath your feet, and phase 2 begins. Now, he'll launch a series of energy waves at you, followed by a series of bouncing spark bolts before he hops to the other side. Once he has a third of his energy left, he'll destroy the floor again, thus beginning the final phase. This time, he'll charge up into a buzzsaw and rush you, and prepare to attack with a powerful rain flush which you will want to interrupt. And on top of all this, he has no weakness to any of your weapons. Every attack does 1 damage to him, including a charged Mega Arm shot. This makes the fight even more challenging. And when it's over, Sunstar is left with a single HP, and Mega Man does something awesome. He has mercy on the defeated Sunstar, and offers to take him to be repaired by Dr. Light. Sunstar is confused until Mega Man tells him why he fights. However, it's too late for Sunstar, as he reveals to Mega Man that his fusion reactor is about to melt down and tells Mega Man to escape. And as Mega Man and Rush flee, Sunstar explodes, taking the Wily Star with it. And when I saw that explosion, I felt that I had gained something more valuable than any weapon. I gained a true feeling of satisfaction. And that is why Sunstar is number 1, my favorite Robot Master ever. Because he embodies how I feel about the series. Think about it. At the beginning of the game, Mega Man couldn't even scratch Terra. And by this point, he's not only beaten Terra, but defeated the robot equivalent of a god. That's a true sign of having gotten stronger as a fighter for Mega Man, and as a gamer for myself. And that's why I hold the Mega Man series as one of, if not my favorite franchise in video games. The way the games are made, completing a game in the series makes me feel like I've gotten better as a gamer. The way many levels are designed, the way many boss battles play out, the challenges that I overcome in bringing down Dr. Wily, it all contributes to a feeling of growth and accomplishment for me, regardless of how formulaic it all is. That's a feeling that few other franchises give me, and that's why I'll always hold this series close to my heart. I'm the Quarter Guy, and as far as I'm concerned, the legacy of Mega Man will endure for as long as gaming exists. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace.